Hey, this is Simon Cryer from Smarter Marketers, and if you're watching this video, it's because either one of my team, either Karen or Jody, has reached out to you and wanting to do a bit of a marketing discovery session with you, which is a deep dive audit on your business and how we might be able to help you with the $1 Million Agent program. So if you haven't watched the webinar yet, I just want to give you a bit of information that will help you sort of just before we set that meeting up with you, the discovery session. And this will give you a really cool idea in terms of how to audit yourself to see if you qualify for doing any work with us. Okay, so let me share my screen with you, and I'll give you some really good ideas that I think could really help your business. Shall we? Just share my screen. Okay, wonderful. So here's my screen, and we're just going to go into the $1 Million Agent. This is how to attract more prospects, convert more listings, and multiply your results, right? So the first page here, and so the three elements that we're looking at for your business is how to attract, right? How to attract more prospects, more customers, more listings, how to convert those customers into listings, and how to multiply your efforts so that you can have more of three things: more time, more money, and more freedom. All that is, we get those things by helping you grow your business, yeah? Okay, so how do we do that? There are three elements behind attract, three elements behind convert, and three elements behind multiplication. And so I want you to sort of rate yourself on how you go in each of these three elements, yeah? So let me show you what I mean. So under attract, if I just put attract here, under attract, we've got three elements. We've got building a funnel. And so what I want you to do on each one of these areas is give yourself a rating, like a red being not bad, not good, sorry, yellow being, yeah, okay, and green being amazing. So how are you in terms of your funnel? The first point here is your funnel, right? Right down here on the left. Yeah. So how are you rating on a funnel? So if you are red, you're probably saying, what the heck is a funnel? Okay. So what I'll do, and I'll give you a couple of case studies at the end of this, so you can see exactly what it looks like from a funnel. The next point would be, how are you in terms of building authority? The third one on attract is how are you in building engagement, right? So if you're saying, what's a funnel? You would be obviously like a red. So I'll give you kind of like an orange there. Right, and maybe in terms of, or if you were green, you would be saying, yeah, we've got multiple funnels, multiple offers online. We've got leads coming in that we can switch on and switch off at will. And so you'd be really crushing it. You'd absolutely be a green if that were the case for you. In terms of authority, a red is, we're not really building much in terms of authority. We're not telling people or positioning our brand as being experts in the marketplace. Or a yellow might be, yeah, we've got the Rate My Agent, Agent of the Year Award, the participation ribbon, which is fine because Rate My Agent is a reputation platform. You might have that going on for you, which would probably give you a yellow. Or if you had something like, yes, we've got, for our brand, we know that two tiers of customers are mums and dads who are selling, and also superstar real estate agents that we're looking to recruit. So we've got two things happening there. For mums and dads, we've got REB awards, which showcase how brilliant we are in marketing genius. We've also got authority builders like our listing videos. Also, we talk about quarterly updates, why the area is good, how the employment is going for the area, what the Reserve Bank of Australia interest rates are for the area, average sales price, days on market, what's happening this quarter versus year on year last quarter. Those sorts of things are authority building pieces which position you as an expert. That would be a green. Or maybe you've linked a boutique brand to a large iconic brand. Maybe you have applied and successfully won Telstra Business of the Year as a finalist for your state or something like that. That would be a green 10 out of 10, right? So let's say you might be a yellow here. And then I'm just giving you stuff that I normally see when I do an audit of a client, but I want you to do this on yourself. 3 is how you are attracting through engagement. For example, are your posts not only boosted on social media, but do you have interaction? Do you have engagement there? Are you asking questions? Are you asking people to tag stuff compliantly? Do you even know what that means in terms of compliantly? So red flag would be, yeah, you're engagement in terms of what you do with online media is you've just got Facebook. You're not running any other promotions. You're not creating any other engagement. Maybe you're just on Facebook. Maybe you're just on Instagram. Yeah. Okay. So really good engagement would be you're running promotions, you're boosting posts. Really bad engagement is, again, just your Facebook page is just talking about listings. There's no real interaction. You're not showing people what's coming up in the community. You're not giving them any cool facts about the history of the area. You're not engaging with in anything except for this one-dimensional, boring real estate crap. Okay, so that's not great. What is great is if you're asking questions, you're asking people to engage with you, you're eliciting conversation, yeah? You're doing really cool stuff. You are maybe posting about celebrity listings, right? So a bunch of things like that. You might be asking people, you might be showcasing local community businesses, right, in your area. Yeah, that would be engaging. And I'll show you something here. So let's say that most people here in terms of engagement are a red. Let's say that you rate yourself as more of like a yellow, okay? Over to the middle here, we're talking about this is what we do to convert. And 3 sections of converting is firstly, knowing your numbers, knowing your metrics. And most people that I come into as a consultant, most businesses really don't know their numbers specifically. One of the questions I ask, which is not even anything to do with online marketing, is what's the highest converting piece of direct mail that leaves your office? And a lot of people don't know. Some people say, yes, the price drive. And we know that, okay, well, the next question is, how many letters do you get at? How many people reply? How many appraisals do you get? And how many listings do you get per 1,000, right? And so these are what I mean by knowing your numbers and understanding the business metrics that move your business forward. One of my clients, for example, was spending $26,000 on regional advertising for radio. Question obviously was, how many listings do you get from that particular investment in advertising? What's your return on investment? How many listings? I don't know is the answer. And that's not an uncommon thing. So if you're in that sort of situation and you're stuffing people's mailboxes full of just listed, because just listed is the most creative headline that you can come up with, and it's not your fault, by the way. Most real estate agents are just plain follow the leader and they do what everybody else does. They don't understand that just listed is really not a compelling headline. That's just what everybody else does, which makes you invisible. Or maybe your letters informing people of new stock that you've just sold comes with a big headline that says just sold. It doesn't come with something really, really cool that creates engagement, that creates separation from your competitors, right? So knowing your numbers, what's the return on investment with your just listed, with your just sold? What's the return on investment with your price drive letters? What's the return on investment with your fridge magnet calendar, for goodness sake, okay? Are you getting any cut through with that, right? What are you measuring? It's a really important thing. Third thing, or second thing on conversion is understanding your traffic. And so you should be able to get some real dollar value in terms of cost per lead. Do you know how much it costs you to acquire a new listing? Really important question. Most people don't know the answer to that, right? And so where does that come from? Is it referral? Is it open homes? Are you doing anything online with traffic, right? Are you doing any Google search engine optimization? Or are you doing any Facebook promotions, direct promotions? There's a ton that we can have a look at, and I'll give you a couple of case studies there. Most people I talk to are usually showing up as a red on that section. And lastly is the offer. This is an offer for conversion. I'll show you what an offer is if you're, like most people, showing up as a red there as well. But the thing is, what are you doing? So let's have a look at this. I'll give you some examples of recent case studies that we've done for clients, and then you can go back and actually rate yourself here. The other thing that we've got over the top here is a really cool place of multiplication. I'll just write multiply so I can fit the word in. And the first question is, what are you doing which is automated, which is done for you? What are you doing that is, or if you were a red, it would be one-to-one, and it'd be onesies, twosies, and it'd be direct grind. Yeah, so it's just one-on-one, hitting the phone, hitting the pavement, hitting doors. Or do you have offers in place which are automated, which do all the heavy lifting for you instead of you pushing, which is a different dynamic when you're pushing, asking people to list with you or who they know who's selling. versus people coming to you asking questions about the marketplace, about maybe putting their house on the market. Very different energy there, very different dynamic in terms of the sales process, right? So most people here are a red when we get to them. Maybe they've got some things going on. Hey, maybe you're a yellow. Maybe you've got some automation here where you've got a PA. That's beautiful. So you're not doing all the one-to-one. You're leveraging a little bit over here, which we'll talk about in just a sec. You're leveraging a little bit of talent to help you automate some processes so that you're doing some of the most productive stuff. But what are you doing to automate some of your high leverage activities? I'm not talking about getting rid of low payoff activities like putting up signs, taking photographs, that sort of thing. Talking about more, how are you automating some of your high leverage activities like prospecting, for example, right? Third thing over here is leveraging talent. So you might already be getting towards green over there. You might already have a PA, which is awesome. You might have some great systems and support to help you do some automation. So that's great. The other thing that we do is leveraging talent. Is just because you can, doesn't mean you should be doing some of the jobs that you might be doing. Leveraging talent, obviously, we are a prime example of leveraging talent, getting experts in the business that will help you place your business digitally and also offline so that you can have more listings, that you can be the dominant market player in your area within 6 months. And the digital space is a really exciting place to do that. In the middle here, we have broadcast mastery. So what is going on in terms of you getting your message out there? Again, is it one-to-one or is it broadcast mastery one-to-many? How are you measuring it? So let me give you a couple of examples of what these 3 areas, attract, convert, and multiply, could look like in a couple of the recent case studies that we've done. And just to help you, let me go through and give you a couple of questions. One, I usually ask people how long they've been in real estate. And if you've been in real estate for anything less than 2 years, probably not a candidate for our program. So that might help you. But let me give you some good content anyway and see if we can help set you up for success, even if you're just in your first year in real estate. Second thing is, if you're making, say, your commissions, say, less than north of $8,000 to $10,000 a month, if you're not earning more than that, probably not a good candidate for our program. There's going to be an investment required, and we're going to do some really cool stuff for you marketing-wise. Last thing we want to do is put huge amounts of financial stress on you right now, right? It gets us out of the creation space, and it's more of not a nice to have, and it's not a fun process. It's more too much stress, right? So we want to have the freedom to be creative. Having said that, it's never ever the perfect time to get started in a program like this. There's always something that's clamoring for both our time and our money, right? You know this as a real estate agent because you probably, if you're like anybody else, you're probably time poor. And so we can put some stuff in place because, let's face it, in real estate, we are pulled in so many multiple directions. It's not funny. So we can show you how to do some cool stuff which separates you from this sea of sameness. Because if you're like most real estate agents and you're playing follow the leader, then the best that you can hope for in terms of mathematically speaking is average, right? So what you can do is separate yourself from the sea of sameness and having your brand being invisible by doing some real standout stuff that both capitalizes on attraction, conversion, and multiplication. Let me show you a couple of quick case studies to sort of support that. I'll do a couple of things. One, this is Todd. Todd was one of our clients. Recent promotion that he just did was running a $100,000 promotion. So tickets in the draw for a chance to win $100,000. Really exciting promotion. A lot better than his competitor down the road who do a free appraisal for a chance to win a pizza. Yeah, so a little bit different, a little bit more cut through, a little bit more compelling, a lot more in terms of response rate, right? So I'll show you just as a case study, what we did with Todd. We did just a Facebook only campaign, right? Facebook, we spent $1,000, $1,005. And here's what the numbers dropped out for Todd. In that 90 days, he generated 48 appraisals, right? Big deal, hey? 1 every 2 days. Secured 4 listings. Would have been 5, but there was a lady who also requested an appraisal, but Todd was so busy with his other appraisals that he didn't get back to her within 3 days. So he lost that listing, right? So it could have been 5. You could have made 50 grand. And this is not GCI, this is net commission that Todd's taking. So yeah, bear that in mind. It would have been $50,000. on average, but $41,000 generated from that particular promotion. And now that's just a snapshot. Okay, so also you and I are both mindful that there's other flow on business from the momentum that's generated through this particular campaign, right? So there's referrals, there's other really cool stuff, there's neighborhoods and all the promotion and prospecting he's doing around those listings that he has listed and subsequently sold, right? So yeah, how much does it cost for Todd to run that promotion? All up, it cost him about $3 or $4 grand. Question for you is, how much would it have cost Todd to not do this particular promotion? So maybe looking at that go, well, it would have cost him $41,000 not to do it. Yes, and others of you would say it would cost way more than $41,000 because of all the other business that he generated through that momentum of being so visible, having a whole bunch of new stock just coming to market and selling. And so the referrals, the open inspection leads of people wanting to sell before they buy, all of that sort of stuff coming into play. You can see it's north of 50 grand plus for that one promotion that we did for Todd that made him an extra $41,000 in 90 days. And yeah, so the answer to what it would have cost to not do it, huge amounts of money, maybe 60, 70, maybe even $80,000, right? So big deal. So with Todd's promotion, just go back a sec. So this one here where we did the $100,000 promotion, we put a website together for Todd, obviously, and that's called a funnel. Right, so that's the funnel. So Todd's got a standout winning funnel right now, which is producing leads, right? And it also makes him look like a leader. So we actually put, Todd had some, he said that he didn't have any footage that we could use. And when we stalked him online, we found out he was on Sky News. He was on local Win News TV talking about the marketplace. So he became an instant celebrity and instant authority. So in terms of authority, Todd's got some great authority that we were showcasing in that particular funnel that we created. Engagement. With engagement for Todd, what we did is we had this beautiful promotion. It was like, hey, have a ticket in the draw for just finding out the value of your home. Right? Really, really cool. We didn't call it a CMA. Why? Because everybody calls it a CMA, right? And so we called it a 13-page property analysis report about, you know, just finding out the value of your home. And so if they guessed the value within $50,000 of our free report, then we would give them 20 more tickets in the draw. That created massive amounts of engagement, right? Now, a recent example of what we're doing with one of our other clients in Townsville is we're saying, if you imagine winning $100,000 in our cash prize draw, who would you spend it on? Or who would you share it with, right? Who would you spend it with? That is a really engaging question. So yeah, that created massive amounts of engagement. With the traffic that I showed you, we really were clear on our numbers. We spent $1,005 just on that one traffic source. So we got our traffic source dialed in. We know our numbers, our offer. And I showed you the cost. It's an insurance policy on the chance of winning that $100,000. And so we got that offer dialed in. Our broadcast mastery, obviously, we're getting out to a lot of people. Todd's obviously engaged us to do that. And we've got an automated promo. And actually, Todd rang us. Remember, I talked right at the top of this particular video saying, hey, it's a lead machine that you can turn off and on at will. At one point in the conversation with Todd, he gave our office a call and said, stop, I can't keep up with all the leads. So he had to put his campaign on pause while he could catch up and connect with everybody who had requested these appraisals. Isn't that beautiful? Love it. So that's what I mean by attract. That's what I mean by convert. And that's exactly how we multiply with our offers and what we do. So when we do the audit together with you guys, one of the things we'll be doing is showing you how we do turnkey promotions where we become sort of the, well, firstly, we don't become a cost to your business, but we're a revenue generator. We're really a profit center for your business. I'll show you what we can do, how we can put a lot of your marketing on autopilot. We've done for you strategies where we do all the copy, all the advertising, all the creative website design. We give you a 12-month marketing plan which is customized for your business, your brand, your audience, and your marketplace. And we put everything in. It's a done for you, fully implemented plan for the next 12 months of your business. So I hope that helps you understand where you are. And the other question I would ask you is, where do you want to be? Let's assume you knew all of this stuff about traffic, about offers, about funnels, authority pieces, engagement. about measuring your numbers, about automation, broadcast mastery, leveraging talent, where would you be? How much business would you be writing? What would be your GCI, right? So I was talking to a client in Wellington just yesterday or the day before, and she told me her current GCI is about 700,000, right? And I said, oh, let's say you knew all of this. Where would you be in 12 months' time if you knew all of this stuff? And she said, I would be 1.3 million. Interesting. So I look at that and say, well, you have a big gap there. And how much is it costing you not to know all this? Well, clearly, 1.3 million minus 700,000, there's a $600,000 gap that she's paying each year, right? It's a big deal. It's nearly 60 grand a month to not know the answer to this. So we can show you for a fraction of that how she can solve that, be up to speed, and make that extra $600,000 and be like one of our other clients. We took one of our clients from 600,000 GCI to $1.1 million GCI year on year through some of this stuff, right? So I hope that helps you. Ask the question, if you knew it, where would you be? And what's the gap that you're paying for? We call it gap tax, right? So if you're like, let's say you're $100,000 out from where you want to be, where you know you would be, what's the gap tax? It's going to be about $8,333 a month, all right? That's how much it's costing you not to know this stuff. That's how much it's costing you, and probably more. When we look at the promotions that we've done, how much did that cost Todd in 90 days not to do it? Well, it would have cost him 41 grand, yeah? And probably then some. So if you multiply that, 3 lots of 90 days, that's 120,000 something, right? So how much does it cost you not to know this? Let's see if you qualify. Let's see if you've been in real estate for more than 2 years. If you're making north of 8 to 10 grand a month, and let's have another deep dive and do a market discovery session with you, your business, your brand, your audience, so we really know it and we can see whether you're qualified to sort of do something with us to help you close that gap that we just talked about. Big love. Hope to see you soon and meet you face-to-face personally very soon. God bless. Take care. We'll speak soon.